We're going to go over Wordly Wise, Level 10, Lesson 12, and see what words we're going to be studying this week. The first word is aftermath, a consequence or result, often a negative one. Thousands of people were left without shelter in the aftermath of the earthquake. This is going to be what happens after a situation. So, like this would be the aftermath of a tornado. It is what happens after it happens. It could often be with conversations too. Maybe the harsh words, the aftermath of the argument caused us to not be friends for several months. So that would be the consequence or result. The next word is aphorism, a short statement of truth or principle, an adage. My mother often warns me to slow down, citing the aphorism, haste makes waste. This is a short, wise statement, very similar to a proverb or an idiom. Winners never quit and quitters never win. The idea that you need to get some wisdom out of the little quote they're giving you. It is a thing, so you have a or an aphorism. Catharsis is the third word. A releasing of the emotions, often through arts, that bring about a spiritual renewal or a relieving of tension. You could turn it into an adjective and say cathartic. Sometimes people say shopping is cathartic. Prayer is cathartic, taking your concerns to God. You could also go and see like a counselor, and that would be cathartic, something that relieves the tension inside you. Cohort has two definitions. The second one here is what I want to look at first. One who assists another, especially in a dubious or criminal activity, an accomplice. Somebody that is a cohort could be people that work together to do something wrong, like maybe Bonnie and Clyde. They were cohorts. Now, we do use that word a little different nowadays. We have kind of changed that meaning to just meaning a group of people that are working together. Maybe you and your friends, you could say you are cohorts. You're not necessarily doing anything wrong, but you are working together as a group. It's kind of a fun way of saying friends or a group that's working together. Cohort. The next word is culpable. This little dog over here is culpable, deserving blame or censure. He has gotten himself into trouble. The sentence they gave is because of his negligence, the driver of the car that crashed was found to be culpable. They did something wrong and deserve blame. The next word is easy for most of you, I think. Diabolical, wicked or evil, devilish. The diabolical plot to steal the crown jewels was discovered before it could be implemented. So this is used as an adjective, as a describer. The diabolical plot, you could also say like the diabolical king disposed of his enemies. It's something that is intentionally harmful, wicked or evil. The next word is enormity, the state of being monstrous or outrageous. After the dictator was toppled from power, the enormity of his crimes was revealed, just like the word enormous, large, or bigger than normal. Usually, it is used in a phrase similar to what you see right here, the enormity of ... Here's another example. Some people were skeptical of Japan's plan to erect a mile-high skyscraper because of the enormity of the project, meaning the very bigness of it, if bigness is a word. The next word is gibe, and giant, to utter taunting or sarcastic words, a taunting or scornful remark. This is when you are intentionally being sarcastic, almost intentionally trying to hurt somebody's feelings. As somebody from Michigan who now lives in Ohio, I sometimes get jibed at because of our state's rivalry. So I might have somebody say, oh, Michigan, you guys can't even play football even though you try. Or there might be some sort of joke about how many years it's been. I don't even know. Can't say it hurts my feelings too much because I don't care. But jibe would be that taunting or sarcastic words. The next word is innocuous, harmless, unlikely to offend. The reporter's question seems innocuous. There's kind of a word in here you might be able to see that has to do with the word harmless. If you look at just the beginning, it looks like the word innocent. Okay, innocent, innocuous. It's the idea of being harmless, not causing any offending to anybody else. So the reporter's question seemed innocuous, yet I was chary of getting out any information. So something doesn't look like it should cause you any worry. The next word is necessitate. It has the word necessary in it. Necessitate is the verb of necessary. So to require, to make necessary. So in this image right here, maybe you'd say the loud sounds necessitated the use of hearing protection. Necessitate is just the verb form of that word. So if you saw this picture, how would you use the word necessitate? Remember, it's a verb, so something necessitates. Maybe you would say, the corona necessitated the use of hand sanitizer and face masks by many. The next word is odyssey, a long, adventurous journey. You may have heard of a story called the Iliad. There's a second part called the Odyssey. In the second part of the story, the main character, Odysseus, gets on a ship and sails away from Troy and the Trojan horse, and he takes a long odyssey back home. During that odyssey, he meets monsters and gods get in the way and goddesses help him out, but he has a long journey, and that is called an odyssey. The next word is partisan. Partisan is a strong supporter or advocate or an armed fighter opposed to an occupied army. This would be some examples when you look this word up. There were, during World War II, some partisans. Most of them were either French or Soviets, meaning Russian, and they fought against the Nazis. While their people group, like France and Russia as countries, did not fight necessarily back or they lost early on, small groups decided to stand up for what they believed was right, and they actually fought against the Nazis. You could take this in modern day conversation, and it's just somebody who's very strongly in favor of their political party. So it could be actually physically fighting or just fighting for your cause. You might hear the word bipartisan when they talk about the political realm. This is the idea that two opposing parties need to work together. And as you can probably picture, that's not going to work out too well. Posterity is the next word, a person's descendants or future generations. We, the people of the United States, in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility, provide for the common defense, promote the general welfare, and secure the blessings of liberty to ourselves and our posterity, to ordain and establish this Constitution. So they're saying for themselves and their future descendants. Premeditated. Pre means before. Meditated is you're thinking on it. Premeditated means to think before or fully plan beforehand, deliberate. The lawyer argued that the defendant's action was impulsive and not premeditated. They did not plan it out, it just happened. The next word is scurrilous. Scurrilous is vulgar, coarsely abusive. These scurrilous rumors were perpetrated by someone trying to denigrate your character. Scurrilous is the idea of being very angry and loud and using bad words, sometimes offensive language, or being aggressive on purpose. So scurrilous is not an adjective you want to use to describe yourself. These scurrilous rumors.